Well, extreme fire warnings, declining rainfall and rising sea levels. Those are just some of the key trends revealed in the latest State of the Climate report.
Climatologist Dr. Karl from the Bureau of Meteorology joins us now from Melbourne. Karl, thanks for your time. Are things as dire as they seem?
Oh, look, the report has shown that the warming trends that we've previously reported continue. So Australia continues to warm. It's warmed by about 1.44 degrees since the middle of last century. But we're now starting to feel the impacts of that warming in the extreme weather that we experience. So more extreme heat waves, more extreme fire days, declining rainfall over southern Australia. And we're seeing also now significant warming in the oceans around Australia.
It's hard to marry up when the rest of the Bureau at the moment is saying we're in for the wettest summer in years. What changes will we expect to see then?
Yeah, look, really wet summers are actually probably also a feature of climate change when they do occur. So we know that as you warm the waters around Australia, more moisture goes into the atmosphere. It can rain more heavily. So we are seeing an increase in heavy rainfall events, but overall we're seeing a drying in average rainfall across southern Australia. Those extremes start to become more extreme under climate change.
Karl, did we see much of a difference with COVID? So many things shut down, manufacturing right around the world. There wasn't as much traffic on the road. Did that help improve the environment? Has it made much of a difference?
Look, certainly there's a little dip in the amount of greenhouse gases going into the atmosphere, but the way the accumulation of greenhouse gases work is year after year we add a little bit more greenhouse gases to the atmosphere, and greenhouse gases are still going up. You'd have to have a sustained reduction in greenhouse gases to really notice it in terms of things like global mean temperature. So this little dip that we've experienced, assuming that the economy recovers, won't really be noticed. Yeah.
So how worried are you right now?
Oh, look, I mean, climate scientists have obviously been concerned for a couple of decades. So we're tracking these changes. We're producing this report. The government asked for this report. So really, this provides the sort of science that gives us the keys to making the right decision for which future we want to follow. So really, it's one of, there's worry, but there's also optimism. There's also opportunity. There's also sort of a call to action to make sure that we actually put in place not just reducing greenhouse gases. It's also about adaptation and making sure that, for emergency services and the infrastructure, that we've got things in place to actually withstand the sorts of extreme weather we're going to see in the future.
Very well said. Speaking of extreme weather events, severe storms and a heat wave are set to hit most parts of the country this weekend, and it's going to be 45, 46 degrees for State of Origin, which means New South Wales have no chance.
Yeah, look, the heat's actually been building up over northern Australia for quite some time. During a La Nina, and that's what we've got at the moment in the Pacific, that sort of predominates wet weather over Australia. Often during the build-up to the wet, we get these really hot periods with La Nina. So a place like Fitzroy Crossing, which is just inland from Broome, they've got a few days in the mid-40s coming up. It's also going to be really muggy, so there's a lot of moisture around, a lot of instability around. So we're seeing inland thunderstorms kicking off, and tomorrow afternoon there'll be some severe thunderstorms in eastern New South Wales, and tending to very severe when they do occur from about Sydney up the Central Coast through to Newcastle.
Well, they're saying something like 40 degrees in the western parts of Sydney and even hotter through inland and north western parts of New South Wales and south-western parts of Queensland. That's hot.
It is, and it's going to be humid as well, so the weather is going to be distinctly uncomfortable.
OK,
but going back to Origin, the Blues will win, won't they?
As I was saying.
I'm in Victoria, so it's a little bit lost on me, sorry.
Which makes you the perfect person to ask.
What did you think of those last-minute trade deals last night in the AFL? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I do follow the AFL, so yeah, hopefully Collingwood knows what it's doing.
Well,
Karl will have a chat to Eddie.
Eddie's got more time on his hands now. He's got breakfast.